Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Greene County Express Dalton Ramsey Show, where we talk about everything on the diamond with the South Greene Rebels baseball team. As always, I'm joined here with head baseball coach Dalton Ramsey. Coach,
What's up?
how we doing today?
I can't complain.
Moving on to regionals. That's the bigger picture and everything. I know you ended up losing the District 1 2A championship last night, but the bigger picture, as I just mentioned, you're moving on to regionals. Your first time as a head coach moving on to regionals.
Yep.
First time in, personally, I don't know how long that the South Greene Baseball Club has been to the regional tournament. How great of a feeling is that for you as a head coach to put your team in the regions in your second year?
Man, it feels good to know that we're not done yet. We got a solid squad this year, a good group of seniors, a good group all around just of experience. And that's what, we talked about it at the beginning of the year. We want a regional game because once we get into regionals, we're getting away from what we've seen every single day, every single Monday, Tuesday of every single week. We're getting away from that, and we're playing teams that they hadn't seen us and we hadn't seen them, or that we maybe played as a team that we can both competed against, and we can kind of tell off that. So it's up in the air. So really excited, really proud of the guys, the way that, we pushed and got the regional game. Not the outcome we wanted. One of our goals was a district championship, not the outcome we wanted. And, we talked about it, you mentioned it. We were talking about it this morning out here in the hallways, and I think 2017 might have been the last time that South Greene had a regional game. But,
It makes me feel old this year. I graduated.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. I graduated the year right after you, so... But yeah, it makes us feel good knowing that we've accomplished something that hadn't been accomplished in some time. Down a little bit that we didn't win, but again, we're not done yet. We still got more baseball to play.
And of course, with regionals coming up, take me through what happened to get you to regionals. I know the first game you ended up playing against Happy Valley, they knocked off Johnson County. That set you up with a matchup against the Warriors, which ended up turning out to be a rubber match since you split the season series. You beat Happy Valley, go into that game against West Greene, beat West Greene.
Beat West Greene first.
And then you lose the next two in the championship series. So take me through your run through the district tournament. A very entertaining district tournament from what you've told me, what other people have told me, with every game involved, including the West Greene games, the West Greene Chucky Dope games.
Yeah.
I think Happy Valley and Johnson County had a really good game also.
They did.
Very entertaining tournament all around. Take me through your 4 games in this year's edition.
Yeah, so we've talked about it all season long. Our district is evenly matched amongst 3-4 teams,
and we even talked about that where happened again this year. Last year the 3 seed in the tournament won.
Yep.
This year the 3 seed in the tournament won again.
Yes.
So
maybe you're saying I should shoot for the 3 seed next year.
Maybe. The way history repeats itself.
But no, we started off, the tournament great, facing Happy Valley. They had just got off of a big win over Johnson County the night before. Walk-off, I'm pretty sure it was a walk-off sac fly. Scored the last run. They got off the field, with a win. And we turned around. Their momentum has still shifted their way. They're very confident. It did get a little, chippy there a little bit because, it's kind of those games that it's you try to tell your kids, do or die, it play everything on the line. And that's what kind of got into. And, I was proud of the guys, the way we held our composure. We finished out that game. We finished it out, and I told you, right before we started talking about this, we had, I think, 14 hits and 13 RBIs.
13 RBIs for 14 runs is incredible.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when you score double-digit runs like that, sometimes you're getting help from the other team. They're walking you in. A lot of it's on errors, but to have 13 RBIs on 14 runs, that's incredible.
Yeah, so, we played that game very well, and then we got the momentum in our favor at that point. So then we turn around and we play West Greene. And, we're going to West Greene. We knew this coming into it. We knew that, both of our games that we had against them were very close ball games. It was a pitching duel. We knew that, we had pitching, and, they had exhausted some of theirs in earlier games in the tournament. But, we come out with a motivation that I think absolutely drove us to that next level. We kind of went down. It was 4-1, I'm pretty sure, at some point. And, we didn't quit. And to have that from our guys, and, that's probably the first, or maybe, I wouldn't say the first. I think it might be the second or third game that we've come from a deficit like that. And so I'm very proud of the way that we executed that first game, sealed a spot in regionals. And I don't think that had a factor in the last two games of the tournament, but I think we kind of got comfortable. We got complacent a little bit. We let the emotions of the next two games kind of take us away from our gameplay. We tried to force plays that we didn't need to force. We tried to make diving catches when there was no need to dive. It's just the little stuff. Stuff. We're about to go up here and practice after school and fine-tune that stuff. But I'm excited going into regionals. I think we have a squad that's very capable of doing, I've said it all year, doing damage. And so I'm very excited about us going into this regional tournament.
And you're advancing to regionals too. The draw kind of goes in your favor, though.
Yeah.
That's one thing about the district championship is you lose to West Greene, which isn't the outcome you want because at the end of the day, you obviously want to lift that plaque after it's all said and done. And you want to host the 2 seed. Well, you wouldn't host in this situation. Yeah. They're hosting this year. But it worked out in your favor because the number, I can't remember what they are in state right now, but the number 1 seed in that opposite district ended up losing. So now they get the draw for West Greene. So you get Pigeon Forge. So it kind of works in your favor a little bit because I know as a coach you probably wanted to go in playing Pigeon Forge that first game than Alcoa, and that's ultimately what you get at the end of the day.
Yeah, so, Pigeon Forge, both teams are very, very solid. They're a very solid hitting baseball team, very fundamentally sound, so they're going to play good defense against us. And, we're going to go in and we're going to go up here and work on some things that, we saw in the district tournament. We're going to fix a few things that we made mistakes on, but then we're going to come in and play solid defense as well. But, yeah, Alcoa, great season that they're having. Pigeon Forge, another great season. The thing is, with Pigeon Forge, I've got a little bit more insight on them just because Chucky Doak wound up playing them in the season. And luckily, I actually got to go out there and, actually watch a baseball game for once. So, it's
hard to do as a coach during the regular season.
You never get an opportunity to go watch. And that's
I remember one time I saw you at a game last year, and that's rare to see.
You just don't ever get to do that. And, us as coaches, we get so much pressure on us that, we can't just go out there and enjoy a game, and that's all I wanted to do was go enjoy a game. And so that's, we get to say that we've seen them in action. Not necessarily played against them, but we've seen them in action. So that's a good feeling to have going into the regionals.
And you'll get Pigeon Forge, and I guess we'll talk about their team a little bit in the second half, but we talked about the district tournament, a runner-up finishing that, moving on to regionals for potentially the first time in 7 years. As your battery's running low, we'll go ahead and fix that in the break. So we'll go ahead and jump into it real quick. We'll have a fresh screen behind us and a new topic to talk about right after this break here on Grassroots Media.
At Corner Pond, the friendly and knowledgeable staff has the experience necessary to help you out regardless the need. Have an item of value you'd like to pawn or sell? Corner Pond can help. They pawn numerous items of value, including firearms, tools, ammunition, silver, coins, and much more. When you walk through their doors, you'll find well-stocked shelves full of electronics, gaming systems, fishing and hunting equipment, car audio and accessories. And don't forget about the room full of guitars and basses and amplifiers, or their outside lawn and garden equipment. Corner Pond is a case knife dealer and carries numerous used knives as well. Stop by and let the friendly staff at Corner Pond help you today at 432 East Bernard Avenue, Greenville, Tennessee.
Pizza Inn's new Right Way Buffet is open and ready for you and your family. Now with new garlic buttery crust and stuffed crust pizza, along with salads and desserts. It's the best part of your day. The all-day, everyday buffet. Only at Pizza Inn Greenville.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Greene County Express Dalton Ramsey Show, where we cover everything on the diamond with the South Greene Rebels baseball team. As always, I'm joined here with head coach Dalton Ramsey. So you got regionals coming up, as we mentioned, and you've got Pigeon Forge. You kind of got the lucky draw in this scenario where you travel to you travel to Alcoa. You get Pigeon Forge in the first round matchup. Talk about what you expect and kind of what you think you'll see out of a team in Pigeon Forge.
So we're traveling to
Pigeon Forge, you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
I got so confused
Yeah,
right there.
well,
I confused myself, honestly, more than I confused you.
Yeah,
You knew.
I'm you ain't gonna lie, you kind of scared me. I'm sitting here like, okay, well now I've got to add another 30 minutes. To my
No, you're the coach. You know.
So, but yeah, Pigeon Forge, like I said in first part there, they're a solid squad. Play defense very fundamentally sound. They put the ball in play. It's not really immaculate power or something crazy, but they're going to hit line drive shots, and it's going to be tough outs. So if we'll come in and we'll play our baseball game, we come in and we make our easy outs that we always talk about, the ones that we cannot afford to give up. If we do that, we have a really good chance at doing great things. And then, at the plate, we've had this motto all year long. We've got to do damage. When you step up to the plate, if you got one out, don't get an out. That's doing the most damage that you can. You get on base. That's the most damage you can. You get a guy on third, the most damage you could do right there is score that run. So, if we have that motivation, that motto going into the plate, and, we want to get up there and actually hit, I think that we can do our job and, be able to score runs. So going into that, they're very, like I know they got one really, really good solid stud. I think he's committed to Miami is what I've heard. Myers, I think is his last name. Very, very solid baseball player. That's probably their best arm that they've got. So if we see him, we got to get up to the plate ready to hit. He's going to pound the zone. He's going to throw strikes. So if we get up there with the mentality of let's hit the ball, I think that we'll put it in play and we'll see what happens from there.
The format for regions will be the same as districts.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be double elimination.
Absolutely.
If I could steal a quote from Coach Jason Lowe, I don't think he watches any of these. He might, so if you are, shout out Coach Lowe. But win two before you lose two.
Yes. Is
basically the mindset you have to go into. You just have to win two to advance to sub-state before you lose two.
Absolutely.
You could still win two and then lose and then go on the road for sub-state, but at the end of the day, you just have to win two.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's, cool.
As we go black.
Yeah. But, black logo, black screen. But yeah, as we talk about it time and time again, you got to do what you got to do in baseball. Baseball is one of those sports that, you have to worry about pitching. You got to worry about, okay, he's thrown 25, I can throw him again tomorrow. You got to watch, the way that a hitter hits the ball. You got to worry about shifting the field a little bit to, alter that. Mm-hmm. So, it's one of those things that you can't really focus on too deeply because then you start putting stress on yourself. And that might have been what happened to us in the district tournament. We felt the pressure and then it kind of surrounded us. So, we got to come in relaxed, come in having fun because baseball's probably one of the most fun sports you can have. At any point, anybody's available to win. And that's what I love about baseball, and that's why I feel like our guys are going to be ready for that going into this regionals.
And then with the format being double elimination, you, of course, play Pigeon Forge in the first round. You travel up there to play at Pigeon Forge. West Greene and Alcoa will also match up then, too. Mm-hmm. If you were to win, of course, you play the winner. If you were to lose, you, of course, play the loser, and then so on and so forth. Just like the district tournament. So at the end of the day, same format, but those are the teams. Of course, you and Pigeon Forge are at the top. Yep. West Greene and Alcoa are down there at the bottom, and it'll play itself out. But one last thing we want to mention is we talked about all conference awards last week.
Yeah.
Just finished up the district tournament. We've got all tournament awards, too. You had 2 players, as I understand, that were named to those teams. 3. Actually, I'm sorry. I was thinking the last year like we spoke about. So, name those 3 players and the recognition that they deserved for the hard work they put in through the tournament.
Yeah, so the 3 people we had for all tournament was Graydon Rader, Dustin Crum, and Seth Franklin. Two guys right there, 2 seniors and 1 junior. The 2 seniors there, man, they've built the program. Mm-hmm. I've said it time and time again. You've got to leave the program better than what you found it. And I can't complain one bit with those 2. The amount of leadership, the amount of emotion, the amount of hard work that they've put in to getting better and making the team better. I can't complain with their output. Both stud pitchers. We've talked about it when we were doing Pitcher of the Year awards. We put them both in it because their stats are so
close.
Similar.
It's kind of
so
hard
similar,
to choose.
so close, and it's one of those things that I'm happy to say that I have them on my team going into this regionals. And Seth Franklin, another
he's the backstop for both of them too.
Backstop is what we're going to talk about. He's just an all around man. You've had the pleasure of talking to him. All around great guy. All around probably the toughest kid you could ever meet. It's quite funny actually. One of those things. You get those foul balls that ricochet off your mask and stuff like that. Seth Franklin's one of the guys that if he gets hit in the head, he's fired up and he's ready to go. So instead of, going out there and having to check on him, I'll literally walk one step out of the dugout and the kid will turn around to me and say, nope, go back, I'm good. And it's just the toughness that you've got to show for that right there. Mm-hmm. That's a ringing sensation. And for the toughness for him to sit there and say that, that's just I can't complain.
You have him for one more year too.
I have him for one more year and I am excited to see the damage that he can do.
And you've got Graydon and Dustin as seniors now. They have one last opportunity to do damage now in the regional tournament. Win 2 games. Before you lose 2 games, you'll be moving on to sub-state, and we'll see who you have at that point. If you get there, hopefully next week's not our last show. Hopefully we get to talk about some sub-state action next week.
I sure do.
But the good news is we're talking about regional action this week, and that's always a privilege.
Absolutely.
But until next time, Coach, I think that's all we've got. Thank you all for watching this week's edition of the Greene County Express Dalton Ramsey Show. We look forward to seeing y'all next time here on Grassroots Media.